start semi-retirement from storytelling and also had a 10-year anniversary. So thank you so much. And also I'm doing a story that I haven't done in a really long time. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. This was so nice. All right. So I haven't done the story in a few years and I'm kind of a little rusty right now. I changed it at the last minute. So bear with me, give me some grace. On September 2016, I entered the short driveway of my old family home. I put my car in park and hesitated for a few moments. It was the first time in 3.5 years that I came back to my childhood home. My mom insisted that I make this visit to see my dad. I had not seen him during that time. The last time I was there, I abruptly left with my belongings as I stuffed them into the car while my dad was pleading me not to leave, and he also begged me that he's going to be lonely. I glared at him and I told him I don't care. I drove away as the garage door closed. I had enough of him. I was resentful towards my dad when I left and wanted him out of my future. Before now, I was sitting in my car thinking about how he would react to me after not seeing him for 3.5 years. In front of me, the garage door was closed. I made my way through the short entrance. Images of childhood memories conjured up as I remembered past summers when my brothers and I would chase each other around and shoot hoops. Now the innocence and joy have long been gone and replaced with a more somber, lonely, and uncertain tone as I gaze at the place that housed my childhood memories. As I approached the front door, I saw my dad sitting down in the backyard with his back facing the family garden. I called him out. His back shook instantly. He turned his head around and saw me. He stood up and beamed with excitement as he approached me. He hugged me and said over and over again how much he missed me. I didn't hug nor smile back. I was emotionally removed in that moment. Instead, I was preparing for whatever triggers that could set me off inside. My father suffered from PTSD and a series of mental health issues. He was born in Vietnam at the beginning of the war. His mom died when he was a small kid and had to move in with his uncle in Cambodia. He was abused as a teenager when he was going into Buddhist monkhood. He was a survivor of the Cambodian killing fields, a genocide that killed over 2 million Cambodians. Starting from my adulthood, I have slowly watched him decline as he battled through the injustices of the genocide, the apologies and reparations he never received, which resulted in the damage that he inflicted upon my family, including myself, from the betrayal that he has felt from these experiences. My dad, now his hair is showing silver colors blending in with his once pure black, has started losing his teeth. His round brown face has looked gaunt. He looked noticeably weaker and wearing a faded t-shirt that had holes in them. My dad started complaining about his teeth and thought I should be writing to the U.S. government for help. He insisted that someone came inside the kitchen to poison his food and wanted me to check the kitchen over and over to make sure he was safe. As he continued to talk, I remained silent, choosing not to question his claims. I searched around in my own room. It had accumulated in dust, but it remained untouched as it was the day that I left 3.5 years ago. I quietly gathered a few belongings that I left behind. I decided to pick up a few of the family photo albums. One of the albums that I discovered had an envelope inside. I opened it, and it was a letter from the U.S. Embassy. Dated June 10th, 1976. Dear Mr. Kim's son, as you prepare to leave for Thailand after 4 months of work with the U.S. Refugee Program, I want to express my appreciation for your fine and important service. In the time during which you have worked with the U.S. Embassy's Refugee Section, you have helped lay the groundwork for a program that has successfully screened, approved, and prepared for travel of over 9,000 Indo-Chinese refugees. Your willingness to stay in Thailand, despite the personal hardships involved, to accomplish this task is highly laudatory. Without your dedicated service, this program could not have functioned properly. I wish you success and happiness as you leave for the United States, and I hope that this letter will be useful to you as you look for permanent employment in America. It will indicate to prospective American employees that you have worked unusually long hours as a vital part of the U.S. Refugee Program in Indo-Chinese in Thailand. The loyalty that you have shown to the United States government and your commitment to assisting your fellow refugees is commendable. Good luck. Sincerely, Charles S. Whitehouse, U.S. Ambassador. It was a personal letter from the U.S. Ambassador of Thailand thanking him for his work in helping over 9,000 Cambodian refugees in the Thai refugee camps to be transitioned over to the U.S. This was done while he himself became a refugee after his U.S. colleagues told him before they were boarding the final helicopter flight out of Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia, that they would come back and rescue him and his Cambodian colleagues. That day never came. He escaped several near-death experiences that included how he tearfully begged a Khmer Rouge soldier who held a rifle to his head to spare him, or the near starvation he experienced being in the camps while watching soldiers torture women and children for being accused of stealing food, and a failed suicide attempt when he and three other people were stranded in a tortuously hot Cambodian jungle for days trying to escape to Thailand. The letter was dated June 10, 1976, a little over a year since the Khmer Rouge took over Cambodia and a month before his 23rd birthday. It would be another 2.5 years till the genocide finally ended on January 1979. For the first time in many years, I was proud of my dad. He was not the person that was the abusive, distrustful man that I had known him for, but that I saw a man who once carried hope and determination. It's what gave him the will to survive, the sacrifice to help many of his fellow people, and what led to him creating a new generation of his children being born here in the U.S. I took the letter, I came downstairs and was ready to say my goodbye to him. My dad told me to wait, and he brought me.
We got a Randy.
He brought me a box of vegetables that came from our family garden. I remember how much that garden fed our family and kept my dad alive. He asked me to come back and told me, "I miss you." I stayed silent as I left, but later I thought about the letter and realized that his own sacrifice and desire to do good would never allow him the opportunity to heal. Instead, he has been trapped in a cycle of harm and trauma that I've yet to find a key to release him from that pain. And even in the midst of his own struggle, he never lost the ability to offer love in return. For myself, in that one day, I found a moment that made me love him again. And a week later, I was asked to be on the board for the National Cambodian Heritage Museum in Chicago, where I would serve for them for 8 years. I am now taking care of both of my elderly parents, and this December, I will be visiting in Cambodia, the latter for the first time ever. From that visit with my dad, it was the beginning of the love and compassion that I would carry for him, and it would be extended into my relationship with my fellow Khmer community and the relationship that I would have for myself.